Okay, here we go. Focus. Speed. I am speed. One winner, 42 losers. I eat losers for breakfast. Breakfast? Maybe I should have had breakfast. A little brekkie could be good for me. No, stay focused. Speed. I'm faster than fast, quicker than quick. I am lightning.
Hey, London, you ready?
Oh, yeah. Lightning's ready.
Hello, and welcome to week 10 of the Valued Alliance Racing Super Late Model Series, live from Martinsville this evening. This race is going to be one hell of a battle for no matter what position you're in. There's going to be a battle everywhere on this track. With how tight this track can be from time to time, we have clear conditions. The track temp is 81 degrees. We are running fixed setups, no additional tire sets, one fast repair, 150 laps, and 100% fuel. And
also, remember, everybody's going to have different breakpoints. So
I didn't mute game chat. Anyway,
take it easy.
Of course, you've got myself, Ryan Hunter, and next to me is the one and only, the little sick boy, Dakota Isgrig.
How are we doing? Excited to see Martinsville. Couldn't have asked for a better. I'm putting in my own Jordan sick game performance here, getting to enjoy these 18 drivers put on a show in Martinsville.
Yes, absolutely. And before we get too far into this this session and start gridding up and everything, let's take a gander at our championship top 5 contenders currently. You've got the 95 of Robert Warnes, you've got the number 3 of Tyler Barnes, the 01 of Everett Larson, 91 of Gary Wright, and 72 of Troy Campbell, rounding out your top 5. And the 95 still has a very commanding lead going into week 10 here at Martinsville.
Yeah, this season has been sort of a tale of two halves for the 95 team. In the beginning of the season, obviously, he takes back-to-back wins to open the season before, unfortunately, having to step back. Thankfully for the 95 team, though, they get some super subs in. They continue winning, building that lead. It's been a little bit of tough sledding over the last couple of weeks when it comes to wins, but the 95 has still definitely put itself in a position to continue to get podiums, continue to get good results, and they're being rewarded for it.
Absolutely. Here we are going to go through our starting grid here at Martinsville. Starting with your pole winner, Robert Warnes, and on his outside will be Ben Ryan. This is already going to be one hell of a battle up front, as well as 2 outlier teammates out there, might I add. Third place is Kaz Bedford and Everett Larson, who are both very, very good commanding drivers as well in their own right. So they are going to be posing a threat early on. Riley Frost and Tyler Barnes, this top 3 rows are just insane already. Jeremy Doran and Troy Campbell in row 4. Row 5 being okay, well, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Justin Collins, and I guess now Troy Campbell, I don't know what's going on. People are I don't know. Brandon Torres and Doug Ewing in row 6. Keegan Mantle and one Chris Maxwell, our broadcaster for the Tuesday series, is making his VAR Super Late Model debut tonight. We've got the one and only Eric Copperthorne with Brennan Kleindienst in row 8. In row 9 is the returning Jeremy Keltner with Gary Wright.
What a field we have here tonight. A very solid size field going to Martinsville. Excited to see what these guys have in store for us.
See, we say that, but I don't see a Jeremy Keltner out on the track anymore.
That's an interesting choice. You know, he just recently made his way back on the schedule in the roster, and so you got to imagine if maybe he was just out here trying to get some laps in before potentially making a comeback next week. But that's something to worry about next week as we are about to go green flag racing here in Martinsville.
Let's see how the start goes. Man.
Bit of a delayed jump by the top end of the field, not something we're normally used to seeing. It caused a bit of a tighten up, but they make it all the way cleanly as Robert Warnes will settle in to lead here in these laps to come.
Robert Warnes is certainly no stranger to being up front, but typically we see the 95 taking the lead later on in the bout as we get a yellow flag back in the back of the pack, it sounded like. See exactly what happened back here.
Yeah. It looks like it's there towards the end of the field. A little mix up between the 21 and the 91.
Yep. The 21 just lifts the 91 right out of socket and spins him. I will also state that I heard through the grapevine that the number 21 actually is racing with a new Moza R5 wheel today. So he's certainly chose quite the track and a car combo to debut new equipment.
Yeah, absolutely. It is, but hey, at some point you got to just throw yourself into the deep end and put the trust in your own skills. So trial by fire is certainly one way to go.
Gary Miller is asking if we want a third to hop into the booth with us. It sounds like he is interested in being that third.
I will leave that entirely on your shoulders.
Gary, you are more than welcome to, bud. Jump down into the interview waiting room and I'll pull you in. Man, this we knew that this track was going to be tough. Hopefully that's just a one-off, and we can get back to some good green flag racing here. But I want to take this time to shout out our man in the truck. Love to see Dylan out here doing the work that he does out behind the track in the truck, finding all of the fun facts and interesting knows-its about wherever we might be and whatever we might be racing. And I hear that he is on his way, so we'd love to have him out there. We're getting ready to go green as the pace car pulls off.
Absolutely. We've seen in weeks past these guys sometimes can take a lap or two to get settled into a good rhythm, but gotta believe that when push comes to shove, these guys are ready to put on a show for everybody out there.
The 67 is not trying to hop down immediately behind the 95, which was kind of a weird thing to see there. Looks like we have another accident back yonder. Once again with the 91. Oh, 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 oh
That is
no. That was
that's an
quite,
interesting one.
quite the shish kebab we found ourselves in here.
It was. I wonder if the 54 got a little mixed up on gearing, maybe, and the 57 wasn't ready for him.
Oh, I'm wondering if the 54 might have been getting ready to hit and did not announce it. That's what it looked like to me. Man, what a rough go here.
That is a rough one, but hey, I mean, you talk about trial by fire with machinery, with the equipment. Talk about a trial by fire as a new guy to the league jumping in week 10. That's what you're getting yourself into when you're jumping into a new league like this. You got to you got to keep your eyes open in every which direction.
Absolutely, and I want to welcome Gary Miller into the booth here. Hello, Gary. How are you?
Well, hello, boys. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing a little bit better than Dakota is. Dakota is slightly under the weather, but
True.
I think we're doing okay.
Oh, hell yeah, boys. Oh, Dakota, I hope you get to feeling better, brother.
Me too. I'm just glad you're here to provide a little bit of that energy that I'm lacking.
Well, you stay over there on that side of the booth and don't bring it.
Don't worry, we got the wall up. We're good.
Yeah, we busted out the COVID walls.
Yeah, it's true. Good thing we kept those in the back. Yeah.
Also, shout out to Ty Manning for consuming 15 Martinsville hot dogs before qualifying was even over.
You know, they talk about the 999 challenge in baseball. What's the short track racing equivalent of that? Is it just 15 hot dogs before qualifying's over?
Well, I mean, that might be the high score now. I'm not really sure.
It might be. Where's Joey Chestnut when you need him? Let's set a mark.
As we go green flag race again, the 95 of Robert Warren's shocker out front once again with the 67 in tow right behind him, the number 3 right behind him, as well as the 01 of Everett Larson on the outside of him. And there's carnage in the back once again. I'm just clicking on the first name that I see pop up as red. Hold on. Not the camera angle. I need a better camera angle. Okay.
He's on Dustin Collins.
Oh. That was...
And Doug Ewing.
Looks as though that begins with the 7. Touching the inner corner panel. Oh, yep. The 7 spins the 067. And it just, man, I don't envy the RC for tonight's affair. That is for sure.
He looks like he's got a tough challenge up for him today.
Yep. Coming from the booth, Dylan says Martinsville hot dogs are a fan favorite, Ty. Jesse Jones dogs as they come with mustard, onion, chili, and slaw. Just what Dakota needs.
Oh, baby.
Might make him feel a little bit better.
You know, it would probably put him to sleep.
I feel like we've said it a million times, but a trial by fire. Talking about giving my gut a trial by fire. Dog with some mustard, onion, chili, and slaw. Woo, baby, that's a concoction waiting to happen.
That sounds like heaven in a... Those things called buckets? Is that what we call them? Boats? Like a hot dog boat?
A hot dog boat?
Is that what it is?
That sounds right.
Okay.
Own it, man. Own it.
I'm going with it, dog. Yeah, right there in that hot dog boat.
All right, let's hope these guys can give us some green flag racing here. I'm excited to see what these front guys can do. They were showing a lot of pace in practice, and I'm curious to see if they're able to translate that out there into some race pace. And we've been treated to some really good battles out at the front the last few weeks, and I want to see another one.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that we get some good green flag racing here on the broadcast as we get ready to go green flag once again with the 95 and 67 out front. 67. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh God.
Oh God. Oh no. Ooh. Oh,
big checkout.
What did we just see?
What just happened?
That's
Ooh.
Looks like the 01 just runs into the 95 before race start.
It does seem like it went that way, and then the 95 gives himself the tactical bring out the yellow by stopping on track. I'm gonna make a call here.
Okay. Man, I do not envy the RC on this one, Gary.
Nope, I'm glad I'm not him today.
Ooh. This stream is not, sadly, sponsored by Good Boy Vodka Lemonade beverages, but I sure wish they were.
Oh.
These things are baller shock collar, as the kids would say.
We've made a call. Call was made. Robert Warrens will be reinstated on the front row, and we'll restart that one again.
I do not envy your job. I'm glad I'm just the cameraman and the guy behind all the buttons.
I can agree with that fact.
Ryan,
I don't get to touch the buttons because Ryan would probably hit me if I did, but I'm here.
It happens. Ryan, I will ask you on the green to just clear everybody's blacks.
Yeah, I can do that as well.
Guess Robert's going to get one because he technically passed everybody under the yellow.
Do that. Hello, Audie. Jeremy, I see you up there as well. We love you as well.
My question is how many more hot dogs does Ty get down before the end of this race?
You know, I'm not sure. Maybe we need a hot dog counter.
Just add it up there.
The glizzy counter. That's what we'll call it.
All right. Ryan, you want to clear blacks, please? Thank you. And then I need to... Yeah, he's going okay. All right. Got that all cleared up. Interesting.
I heard a car into the wall on the backstretch, or maybe the entrance of 3, but there was no caution, so we have a green flag lap here, boys.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Oh, baby.
What a start to Martinsville as we're rounding out on this restart here.
Joining back in on the backstretch.
Yeah, and thankfully was able to join safely and not cause some carnage like we've seen in past weeks. But he has enough pace that I'm sure he didn't want to fall too far behind. Be interested to see how his race develops. So a long way to go in this one. Still 120 odd laps left to go tonight. Plenty of time to make up some time. But so far we've been treated to some green flag laps, and so everyone take a breath, take a moment, enjoy it.
I got an alert that the 01 of Everett Larson crashed somewhere on the track, but no caution thrown, as I believe it was a single car accident.
Interesting. He might have peeled off one way or another. Not sure. Keep an eye on that one as we continue on here.
Let's check in on a name that we've talked about here recently. The 99 of Brandon Torres, who has recently been showing some promise here in the super late model series, who has said that the strategies that he's been taking on here recently has really helped him in his performances.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to talk about a guy who's really transformed himself over the course of this season. When the season started, as unfortunately the broadcasters is going to come out right now. What a shame.
Brandon, if you see this, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Man.
We'll put that one on Ryan.
Most people would. Let's see. Here you just see...
Getting into the back of him.
Yeah, there was a bit of a...
He had to check up before he hit the number 6. And
yeah, there was a bit of a Constantina.
Oh my gosh, they just kept coming and kept coming. Man, oh man. What a rough one there. Gary, is this your broad? Oh my God. 23 glizzies have been gobbled by one Tay-Minning over here.
Whoa!
Tay-Minning over here eating 23 glizzies.
I bet he gets to 50 by the end of this.
I mean, at this pace, he'll easily pass 50.
You know, for his sake, I hope not.
I hope for our sake he does.
I was gonna say.
Anyway, Gary, is this your broadcasting debut here?
Yes, sir, it is.
Oh, baby.
Welcome to the booth, sir. How does it feel? How does it feel to be behind the mic?
It's very different. It is a new perspective on the race that I quite enjoy.
It is very different. You can see everything from up here. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. So we've got the top 5 is Robert Warnes, Ben Ryan, Tyler Barnes, Riley Frost, Jeremy Doran, and never mind. That is the top 5. Anyway, the 6th place, Kaz Bedford, who, I mean, last week, he's definitely no name to be overlooked here.
I've raced against him a few times, and man, is he fast. I have a hard time keeping up with him, but that isn't saying much since I am very quick.
Says he's not quick, but he's well up in the standings in the Tuesday night series.
Yes,
He is.
This is a different type of racing than what we.
It is. It is very much.
Tuesday series.
One of my favorite things to do on Thursdays is to try and hop in the car just to get a couple of laps in, just to see what these guys are going to have to deal with. And I can tell you what, that Tuesdays and Thursdays are about as different type of racing as I think you can get, just with the way you have to drive these cars.
Yes, it is.
Without having to turn right, absolutely.
There's a throwback to our Tuesday night escapades in the streets of Chicago this week, which yielded plenty of chaos after 35 very exciting laps of that course.
That was indeed one of the most treacherous races I think I have ever been a part of. Yet, I don't think I could say that I don't want to go back.
Yeah, it was a very interesting one. Make sure to come back on Sunday for our latest iteration of the waiver round. You'll get to hear even more thoughts on that. So,
Yes.
very, very fun times. Seamless plug. Back to racing here in Martinsville, though. Robert Warnes continues to lead us the way. Ben Ryan second, Tyler Barnes third. Not a trio we are unaccustomed to seeing run at the front here, but can they separate themselves and continue to do so over the next 115 laps? Time will tell.
I think the only thing that we aren't used to seeing with this trio is that they're up here this early. Typically,
Yeah.
you don't see these three. You might see one of these guys up front, or up near the front at least, around halfway through. But having all three of them this far up, not even halfway through, is certainly a different ball game that we aren't used to.
It really is. I mean, we know these guys are quick, but can they do it out front? I feel like sometimes, and I feel like this is something that you can go through no matter what series you're running. Sometimes it's almost easier to come through the pack, but it's a lot harder to stay as focused and run the same kind of pace if you're out front already.
Let's take a look back at Everett Larson, who has found himself back on the lead lap and within the top 10.
Yeah, great result for him so far. I mean, he was unfortunately involved in that incident with Robert on that restart, but he finds himself back now on that lead lap. He knows he has some pace. I mean, he was running, second row on that restart, so he's got to have a lot of confidence right now. He just has to make his way through this field.
And I don't really know what that is on the 91 car, but it looks like either confetti or some form of candy, and now I have a sweet tooth.
I'm sure Ty Manning can run you up a glizzy. That's probably the best we can do at this point.
Oh man,
He'd put some of his slaw on there, and it might just taste a lot better.
Ooh, so true, so true.
I'm okay without the slaw. The slaw on a hot dog just doesn't sound right to me. I don't know.
Now let me hit you with the facts though. On a dog, maybe not. On a brat though, that's what we're talking about. That's
Ooh.
the good stuff.
Brats are where it's at.
Give me some beer brats and a cold one, and I am a happy boy.
Oh man. Here we see the 101 of Dustin Collins here in 7th place, trying to hold on to that pack up in front of him. There's a big gap between 7th place and 8th place, as it is almost growing up to 2 whole seconds.
Yeah, we're starting to see these gaps form. The top two starting to pull away from the 3-car Tyler Barnes, actually, and then further down the field, yeah, you're right. These guys are starting to get separated, whether they're getting distracted by one another or maybe it's just a pace thing. But finally, things seem to be settling in, and we'll see what these guys have in terms of long-run pace.
And also, the leaders are coming up to their first bit of lap traffic.
That is very true. These guys have done a great job all season getting out of the way, not impacting the race too much. We'll see if Brennan can do that here, opting to take the hard line into the outside.
That's the wall.
Apparently, maybe whether he liked it or not, but the silver lining is it didn't seem to impact the leaders, though, except for maybe give Tyler Barnes and Riley Frost an opportunity to close that gap a little bit.
I will state it looked as though the 95 might have made some form of contact with the 21 there. That will be something that we might need to go back and look at later on.
Ooh, that looks like a little bit of net code to me. I just went back and looked at it. It doesn't.
Okay, then we can be hopeful for that.
Yeah, might have been a little close for comfort, but I think as of right now, everyone's kept it mostly pointed the right way. Obviously, Brennan taking a bit of the brunt end of that one, hitting that outside wall, but everyone's still pointed the right way, which at the end of the day, it's all we can really ask for at this point.
Ty Manning is stating that a glizzy is en route, and Mike from Charlotte wants to know, other than glizzies, what is the perfect concession stand meal for a race? I have never been to a NASCAR event, but I will state, growing up in Indiana and not being able to go to the Brickyard or Indy 500 or anything like that, I did spend a lot of summer nights at Kokomo Speedway, and I can say the nachos are top tier.
Oh, baby.
I will have to agree with you because I've been to Texas Motor Speedway, and I could not pass up the opportunity to get nachos while I'm there.
Oh man, nachos is a great choice. I'll switch things up a little bit in my time going to Circuit of the Americas. So even sitting in the hot sun, there's something about getting a chicken tenders and fries basket and just wolfing those things down that hits pretty good too.
Now listen,
that's a good
you
one,
can
too.
never go wrong with chicken tendies.
This is very, very true.
I don't care if you're standing in the rain, you could always take a chicken tendy.
A chicken tendy does hit pretty good most of the time.
Man, talk about hitting good. Over here with the 95 and the 67, they are hitting their marks every single entrance and exit of a turn, and they have just waltzed away from the pack this far. There's a yellow flag out. I'm not entirely sure what happened. See something back here with Troy Campbell. Oh, Troy Campbell gets underneath the 89 of Eric Papathorn. 98, sorry. I always mix those two up. And spins them there. You know, Eric, if you ever come back and watch this, I promise one of these races I will get your number correct. It will just maybe take another year of watching you race, and maybe it'll get there.
I'm interested to see this restart here. I wonder if those two boys up front had worn their tires off, and if those cars behind them are going to be able to catch and reel them in.
Possibly.
Yeah. You have to imagine that Tyler Barnes, after seeing that gap open up multiple times over that stint, maybe gets a little aggressive on this restart, trying to make a move for track position here, because I'm sure it was not fun watching them build a multi-second gap over that run. And so I have to imagine that he's going to try and make something happen here on this restart.
I'll have to agree with you, Dakota.
Sorry, I I had to mute my mic. I was coughing because I couldn't breathe. We're back
What an interesting
now.
way! What an interesting way to say that you're wolfing down that glizzy that Ty Manning sent up to the booth.
Anyway.
Anyway, this one, I think these guys are finally starting to get settled in here a little bit. I think they know what to expect in this green flag running, so I'm expecting a good run here, as these guys are going to continue to try and jockey for position and try and separate themselves from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, I think these guys are. I mean, even with the 95 and the 67 both, they might have been running their tires pretty hot, but I think if anybody can do that in this race and still keep composure and stay up front, I think it's going to be those two guys.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely looking at a situation where if you want to be in that situation, you definitely want to be these two guys. We'll see if that holds true as we get this thing going again.
Man, that 95 immediately hopping up in front of the 67 makes me nervous every time. It just looks like he's just going to take the nose of the 67 clean off.
Yeah, that's definitely the benefit of being the leader on these restarts, especially short track racing. You get the control, you get that jump, and you have to take advantage of it by letting the guy next to you know, hey, I'm coming over and this is my spot. You can try and take it if you want, but you're putting yourself at a big old risk if you want to try and send it.
Absolutely. We've got some great racing here, though. I will say, with this being such a tough track and these cars having as much power as they do, I think these guys are doing a pretty good job. We've had a few cautions here and there, but
yeah, and I think that just comes from, these guys, one, learning the track, learning with this group. So, like you mentioned, this is definitely one of the trickier layouts. I think it catches a lot of people off guard with sort of how narrow this track can get. and different breaking points for different people. Some guys want to roll it a little more than others, and contact is going to happen. As I was saying earlier, it's like as this race goes on, I think these guys are only going to it's only going to go longer and longer and better as they continue to get into a groove.
Yeah, absolutely. The number 3 seems to be sticking with the 67 and 95 thus far on this restart. Maybe Gary's onto something here.
I've raced with Tyler. I raced with Tyler. He saves tires when he knows he can and attacks at the end every time.
That's true. That definitely lines up with what we've seen from the 3 car this season. He's one of those guys who's very comfortable just sort of sitting back, and then but at the same time, by the time the race is rolling around and coming to the checkered, he's usually right there battling out for those top spots. So I think it's definitely something we come to expect from Mr. Barnes and the 3 team.
I would also just like to point out, though, we still are not even halfway through this race yet.
Oh, baby. Plenty of racing left to go. Plenty of time, plenty of laps for Ty Manning to knock down some more hot dogs.
Oh, man.
No, I think we're definitely seeing a new rejuvenated 3 car here, kind of going back to it. It kind of really has turned that 2-horse race out of front into 3, as they're separating themselves out a bit from, Riley Frost and Everett Larson, and 4 and 5 as the caution will come out once again.
Man, what a tough one. What an absolute tough one here.
Ooh. It looks like Doug Ewing, the 7 car, came out of turn 2 and hit the inside wall and lost steering to his car.
Man, that is tough.
Oh yeah, it looks like he took on some big damage and ended up towing off that one. So unfortunate.
Gary, the boys in the truck do believe that you owe them breakfast on the way to IRP.
I think we can find a way to get them boys some breakfast.
Oh, baby. You boys hear that.
Oh,
Now,
baby.
it might not be anything special, but it will be breakfast.
Just get them some stale granola bars and we'll be on the road.
I was just thinking some bread and bacon and then sending them on their way.
Oh, granola bars are so much less work.
Yeah, but I'd like to treat them to something a little nice.
Hey, make them not expired.
Sounds like a simple solution to a complex problem.
Absolutely, dude. Man, you've got to notice here though, the 57 at Kaz Bedford is kind of being a bit of a sleeper here. He's hanging in there, but he's not really pushing it, and he might be biding his time, just waiting to strike.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys. He was involved in one of those early incidents, got himself an early penalty, so I wouldn't be surprised if he might be holding a little bit back at this point, not wanting to risk getting that drive-through penalty if he were to get his second incident. And so, but at the same time, I mean, he's still well within his pace to be running here in the top 6, and I definitely expect him to be battling it out here for a top 5 finish as this one continues on.
Getting ready to go green here shortly. 95 and the 67 still up front. You've got to imagine that these guys have to be losing tires.
It's an interesting thing, right? Because if so much stops starting when it comes to pacing and green flag running, the tires will get up to temp and potentially run hot when you're running green, but then they get the opportunity to cool down when you're under caution. And so it's got to be a very interesting thing to constantly have these heat cycles going through these tires. So I'm sure these guys are doing their best, but it'll be interesting to see what's going on here as the battle for second place might be heating up.
Yeah, the 3 closed the door on the 67 there, but it looks as though the 95 is really trying to pull that 67 down with him from that outside line. We can only imagine how this pans out as the 57. The 57 is making his way back up front as well here.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we talked about. Track position is going to be king at a short track like Martinsville. And these guys are looking at these restarts saying, well, all right, if we're going to have this many cautions, this is going to be my opportunity to try and make up some spots. And some of these guys are really making the most of the opportunity.
You know, you have to imagine.
Ryan, enthralled by the action.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. You have to imagine.
I have to call out every time.
Oh, man. I didn't take my nap after work. You have to imagine this the number 3 gave that position back to the 67, maybe to conserve tire a little bit, knowing that we are just over halfway through this race.
Yeah, obviously with the big change that came in the other week with no extra tire sets over the wall, you really got to hold on to this one set that you have as long as you can. We've seen in weeks earlier this season, guys very happy and comfortable to go side by side for 10, 15, 20, 30 laps, but they always come out the other side of it saying that they absolutely ruined their tires. And you have to imagine that might have been a business decision by the 3 team to just settle behind and try and make up that ground later.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look back here at a very brief look, because I don't want to... we know how this goes. Eric Copperthorne back here in the 98 machine, doing a great job, keeping it clean. Haven't really seen him in much of anything other than, I think there was one caution that he was roped into, but wasn't his fault. Wasn't his fault at all.
Yeah, we've seen that week in and week out from Eric. It feels like very rarely do we call his number when it comes to getting incidents, but he always does seem to sometimes find himself on the receiving end for one reason or another. But he'll always find himself right there to continue marching forward, being that steady hand behind the wheel. I mean, obviously, we've seen some decent results out of him across all the VAR series. Obviously, round 1 of the gauntlet this past weekend came and gone. He ended up taking 2nd place, getting himself a nice little podium with an hour and 45-minute race at Le Mans. So I'm sure Eric just knows exactly what he's got to do. He's just going to do what he does, run his lines, run his pace, and he'll usually be pretty happy where he ends up when it's all said and done.
Yeah, Eric's, like you said, a very steady hand behind the wheel, and we said this Sunday in the Gauntlet Series race that he would be very good at road course racing and stuff of that nature, and it just goes to show that you don't have to be fast, you just have to be steady.
I was gonna say, yeah, no more case in point than what we saw on Sunday. Obviously, is one of his first instances of really doing road racing, and you immediately throw him into an almost 2-hour race at Le Mans, and he ends up coming home and nagging himself a 2nd place. And it was a good result for him. And I'm sure some of those guys might be looking at that and going, we're gonna have to get this guy roped into some special events and some other series later on.
Absolutely. Let's hop back up front here. Kaz Bedford is in 4th place, trying to close the gap between him and the number 3 car of Tyler Barnes.
This is where it gets tricky, though, when you're the 57. You see that big gap. It almost feels like you're leading with how much space you have in front of you, but it's sometimes you gotta make sure you don't try and get it all back in one lap, because that's how those mistakes happen. But he's gonna try and do his best to close up that almost 2-second gap here. Doesn't seem like he's gonna be challenged much from behind, so we're really gonna see what the pace of the 57 is right here.
Yes, absolutely. The battle up here for first is still hot as hell, with the 67 right behind the 95. I don't see him making a push for the lead until closer to the end of the race, though. And the 3 car is just, he's holding on for dear life, trying to stick with these 2 guys up in front as they are getting close to the lapped car of Brennan Kleindens once again, and the yellow flag comes out. Oh no, we are seeing some names popping up we do not want to be seeing. Brandon Torres. Oh, looks like he got just a little hot trying to
get underneath that 101 car.
Yeah, that's tough.
The 101 car also sent it in there pretty deep into that turn, almost hitting the 98.
I will say at least everyone kept it clean. No intention behind that one whatsoever. It's just hard racing here at Martinsville, trying to make the turn, and two guys trying to run the same line, and there's only room for one in these parts.
It's true. It's so easy for that to happen too. You get into a groove, you're feeling confident, you see a guy go a little wide, maybe you want to stick a nose in, and that door just might shut a little quicker than you might have been expecting, and sometimes that's just how a cookie crumbles.
You know, I will state the 21 certainly got one hell of a break there, I believe, putting him back on the lead lap here. But
yes, can confirm.
On top of that, two guys who might have benefited the most out of this is the 57 of Kaz Bedford and the 01 of Everett Larson, who round out your top 5.
Yeah.
We'll see on the restart what they do with their opportunity here they probably have.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about this with the 3-car Tyler Barnes earlier. You know, they found themselves in those positions, unable to keep tabs of that front pack. Now they might be thinking pretty similarly to the 3, and knowing that, hey, I got to keep a tail on these guys, because if we go green and we lose touch, that's going to be it. So they know this is going to be their opportunity to make something happen. Very interested to see what they do here.
Oh, we got some info from the booth here, or from the truck here, but let's go green flag here first before we read that. 95 is going to have one hell of a jump here. I can already feel it. There it is. Man, these top 3 guys just do not budge.
Everett and Chaz are running each other going into these corners.
Yeah, I saw that before when they were battling it out for 4th position. These guys were going side by side a lot, and they know that this is their opportunity to try and make something happen, as they're going to be pushing each other as well as the 3 and the.
Oh, there was Mordor from behind. Mordor from behind. '91 makes contact with the 51. Man, that's
tough for Landon.
That is very tough for Landon. Landon's been quite the driver here for the super late model series. Now that we have a little bit of time, Ridgeway, Virginia, home to Martinsville, has a population of just over 700 people, which is one a typical race weekend jumps up to 60,000. That is gross.
That's crazy.
That is quite the bump in the local economy, some might say.
I wonder where the people stay after these races. I wonder if there's enough hotels to house these people.
If I had to guess, Airbnb is probably pretty popular around Martinsville Speedway.
True.
Very true.
Never putting to doubt people's willingness to RV too. We see that in a lot of different races as well.
Well, I mean, if you do get a look outside the track here, you can see a lot of RVs parked out.
That's what I was seeing as well. I mean, hey, why not? You want to go out for some short track racing? Get in on the action, rough it up a little bit, enjoy being around this thing 24/7, have some fun. And we're on lap 100. What are you looking forward to those next 50 laps here? What's on your mind?
I have my eyes on that 57 car. That 57 of Kaz Bedford, after leading in 150 out of 150 laps last week, I can't imagine that he's going to go down without a fight here, and he is in prime position to do just that.
I think here I'm gonna take the underdog that y'all probably aren't even thinking of. I think Everett Larson could get the win out here.
We've seen Everett come from some unlikely spots to nag a win so far this season. He's shown a lot of good pace. Seems like he's like a half step behind right now, but you're not wrong. That does definitely put him in the spot to be overlooked potentially by these top 3 or 4. And we know he's definitely there to take a spot if they open up the opportunity for him. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one for sure.
The 3 and the 67 are running in these corners, trying to get that second spot.
Absolutely, and this looks like Tyler Barnes is looking at this saying this is my opportunity to take second, but we know the 67 of Ben Ryan is definitely not going to give that up without a fight.
No, he is not.
And something else that we have to touch on, which I know is a touchy subject for Elite Motorsports,
we do like some crime on crime action.
The amount of self-team Mordor is high within Team Him and Team Elite Motorsports, and it's looking like the 3 just gets the pass off on the 67.
It does. He got that inside, was getting a good enough run. Now we talked about this earlier. We gotta wonder if the 67 who was running that outside might have just looked at that situation and gone, this isn't going to be good for me in the long run. Let's just take a step back. Let's settle in and try and make something happen. Because if he stayed out there too much longer, he is going to be under fire from the 57 here. And definitely don't want to be out there running those tires any harder than they have to at this point.
I just want to point out the 01 of Everett Larson slammed into the outside wall there on the front stretch, coming out of 4 last lap. So that might have hurt his chances of trying to catch the lead pack for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, you'll see sparks flying every half a lap as these guys are trying to maximize every single inch that they can get out of Martinsville here. They know if they can get into, they're all wanting just like one more inch just to open up that corner just a little bit more, carry a little more speed. And yeah, sometimes you go for an inch and you accidentally take a mile.
Man, these guys, once they get into a groove, and we've said this before in the super late model series, but once these guys find a groove and they get into it, they're running a clean run. It's some great racing. It truly is out here.
It really is. I think that's the one thing. That's the kind of the vision that the league has for this, is they've seen what these guys are capable of, and if they can get it from the jump, and you can get this kind of racing green for 150 laps, I mean, I couldn't imagine a better show.
Yeah, Tyler Barnes, the driver of that number 3, would be your president of the super late model series, and he's doing a very good job at what he does out here, and we're happy to have him on board running this Thursday series and putting on a good show for everyone out here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very involved. He has high hopes for all these guys and the racing that he knows that we can put on here, and I'm very excited to see where this goes here as we're getting close to rounding out the first season of the super late models. But I can only imagine what kind of things they've got in store for season 2 and beyond.
How many more races do we have till till they are done with? Or...
After this one, there are 2 more races in the season for the Super Late Model Series.
It's going to be a good race to the end.
The number 3 here is right on the back bumper of the 95, trying to put a little bit of pressure on the 95 of Robert Warrens, but as we all know, Robert is very, very hard to crack, and can only hope that Tyler can potentially get something done here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen plenty of guys give it a go to try and rattle the 95, and the short list of guys who have successfully done it is just that. It's very short. So at this point, I think you kind of just have to bide your time, see if he gives you any kind of opening on his own, and if not, he's got to be there ready to pounce late if you're able to. But right now, I think Tyler Barnes is doing everything he can at the moment.
Absolutely. The 57 here as well, just trying to stick as close to the 67 as humanly possible here.
Yeah, we've seen this front pack grow from, the top 2 to the top 3. Now we're here running with a top 4. There is a bit of a gap between the 3 and the 67, but not enough to really discount them too much. But yeah, we've seen as this race has gone on, that front pack start to grow just by one every other restart, it seems. And so yeah, all of these guys are going to have their eye on the prize and trying to figure out the best way to navigate these last 40 odd laps, try and put themselves in position to a minimum podium.
Absolutely. Well, we have some green flag racing here. Knock on wood, please don't jinx that. We've got to thank our sponsors out here, Racing with Racers and Whiskey Ridge Racing for starters. Some of our guys have come from those 2 communities, and we really appreciate it. We've also got Ipswich Bay Soaps, company by the 98 of Eric Copperthorne. This 57 out here is doing some work, trying to keep that off the wall as the 01 behind him gives a little test run on the safety barrier out there. I'll back up front and see how close this is getting.
I was going to say, it seems like the 57 is sort of taking a bit of a step back from running that lead pace. Maybe he's trying to get a little bit of clear air, cool that guard down or something. But yeah, this race is definitely getting very, very interesting as these leaders are once again going to be coming up on some lap traffic. Is that going to impact anything here as we're continuing to march on towards the end of this one?
I would also like to say it looks as though the 3 is trying to potentially give a little bit of a bump and run to the 95.
It looks like it. One of those past few corners, the 3 got into the 95, trying to move him out of the way.
Rubbin is racing, as they say.
21 doing a great job staying out of the way of the lead pack, as he always does. We are under 30 to go as well here. Just hit 26 laps left in this bout.
Oh, man. Yeah, these guys have definitely settled in, I think, and they know that at this point, getting closer and closer to the end, they want to keep it pointed the right way. They don't want to introduce any more variables. Some of these guys might be thinking you need a caution to sort of close it back up, but at the same time, you almost kind of don't want a caution if you're think of a guy running in your 57 or your 01s, these guys who are maybe a little step off the top pace, who you want a caution to bring those guys back to you, but at the same time you got some quick guys behind you who are going to want just the same, and that runs a lot of danger if you're trying to make something happen.
Absolutely. These guys are doing fantastic out here at Martinsville. The 95 is once again just put on one hell of a clinic out here.
Yeah, doing exactly what he does. You want to talk a name we haven't really spoken of tonight is the 51 of Landon Williams. I know he got a little bit of shine earlier in this race, but he's been settling into a very calm P6. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a move on the 01 or the 57 as these two have caught back up to. I would be shocked to say that the 51 finds himself around this spot by the end. I think we've just seen incredible pace out of him this season. I'd be surprised to see him stay here.
I see the 51 potentially getting up there in the top 5. All he's got to do is pass at 01. He accomplishes just that. We will see what he can do here with 20 laps to go here at Martinsville.
Absolutely, more lap traffic, and it's going to come in here. Hopefully not going to play much of a part, but...
Oh, man.
Getting into the 01.
Oh, baby. He's saying, hey, by the way, don't leave that door open. I'm right here. I'm giving you a little sniff. He is heating up here as this one's coming down to it. He's saying, you better get on your horse and go, buddy.
It's looking heavy up here. Let's check up front here. Oh, the top 3 are coming up to more lap traffic here. The 3 is hoping to use that lap traffic to potentially get around the 95 and get another win under his belt here in the super late model series.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I think this battle ahead is actually... Oh, is it? It actually might not be. I was going to say it might have been for position, so which always makes it a little trickier too. You got 2 guys who are laps down, battling for position. They don't want to give an inch. You got the leaders coming around. That's where it gets hairy. But thankfully, both of these guys do the smart thing, just sort of get out of the way, let these guys go in the front, and they'll continue on.
Yeah, these guys are putting on one hell of a show out here. Martinsville has just proven that it deserves to stay on the schedule for the super late models.
Absolutely.
These guys are doing a great job here. Go ahead, Dakota. I apologize.
I was going to say, yeah, these guys are performing well under the lights of Martinsville, which, if you didn't know, Martinsville famous for being the first NASCAR circuit track to use LED lighting.
You know,
that is an entering fact. I did not know that.
I was really trying to find a good way to slide that in there. I'm really glad you did. Oh, no.
Oh, baby, we got a race now.
Oh, man. What timing.
That was a big old neck code.
Oh, man.
Yes, it is.
Ooh. You've got to think the 95, 3, and 67 dread that caution coming out. That is wild.
Now I think this will be a battle of who has not burnt those tires up yet.
Absolutely.
Who has
but
the most tire left?
You also have to think that, I mean, we're getting to that point in the race to where it's hard to think that anybody has much tire left. We're what, 100 and probably close to 140, if not at 140. So, you know, it's gonna be a wild restart here. Hopefully, we can keep it as clean as we possibly can.
I hope it is too. But I'm ready to see what Chaz Bedford and Landon Williams have for these guys up front.
Absolutely. Well, and you also got to think about Everett Larson as well. Everett's
He is there too. He is too, but I am worried about that damage when he hit that outside ball because his pace seems like it's slowed since that's happened.
You are correct. Man, Gary, you're doing great here, man.
Try my best.
All right, and a little 9-lap sprint to the end here, boys. Let's see what they got for us.
Oh man, you've got to think this 3 is going to do everything that he can to overtake the 95. Hopefully he can do it safely and not do too much damage to his own machine.
Absolutely.
Oh,
unfortunate for him that lead spot gets the great advantage. He does get a great runner on the outside, but he's going to be battling the 67 car for that second position here. And everyone...
Oh boy!
Oh my God!
Do we have a doozy?
You remember what we were talking about on a restarts? Maybe you want a bunch of the group back up, maybe you don't. I think we just saw what happens when you get the when you don't.
Oh my God! Oh no! I'm at a loss for words.
I was not expecting that out of these guys up front.
Oh man. That is treacherous.
This is gonna shake it up for sure. Going to the racing to the end here.
My God!
This gives a chance for Chaz Bedford and Everett Larson.
I was like, Chaz Bedford, Everett Larson, 2 guys we've been talking about all the race who are just kind of right there, find themselves running in podium positions.
And Landon Williams and Riley Frost is no stranger to being up here either.
We're talking race winners here. I believe everyone. If I'm putting my thinking hat on, I think everybody in the top 5 are race winners this season. It's one point or another. My oh my.
Man, what a turn of events here at Martinsville Speedway. Wow.
This is going to get very, very, very interesting. I think the one to watch here is going to be between the 01 and the 57. These guys have been running side by side almost all the race. If history holds true, the 67 should get the jump off the line, and the 01 and the 57 might find themselves jockeying for that second position here. But never forget about Landon Williams in the 51, who's going to be right there as well. This is going to be electric.
Absolutely, and we're short track racing at its finest. Hey, there are those RVs you were talking about earlier, Gary. I just saw.
And here we go. The 3-car does get the getaway. The 57 with not as good of a jump. The 01 sliding to that inside. Is he gonna get that position? The 57 is gonna have to go all the way around the outside. Oh my goodness.
I'm there's so much going on. The 57 left out to dry by himself. Hopefully he can figure something out.
I hope
he
can slip.
He's gonna lose that. He's gonna lose that spot. I was gonna say. Oh, he gets into the wall. That's gonna drag him out wide. The 51 is gonna take his spot on the inside. He'll take third position here, but he gets a little wobbly. Unfortunately, the 57 gets a little.
Green flag. We're still green.
We are still running.
White flag is out. The race is official.
Ben Ryan leading, Everett Larson second, Landon Williams third. What a finish here tonight.
Oh my!
Landon!
Oh, Landon Williams!
Landon goes outside. Bedford takes third.
Steals the podium.
Oh my
Steals the podium
gosh!
from Landon Williams at the final corner.
What happened in the last 5 laps of this race?
Oh, you know what it was? The 51 clipped the inside curve and it bounced him up and away from the apex. And he lost all of the momentum.
What a turn of events here at Martinsville Speedway.
Oh my goodness. Oh man.
That is wild.
That is absolutely insane.
That's crazy. Well, wow.
It's almost like I don't even know what to say to that. That race changed in the blink of an eye, and I'm not even sure we still fully understand exactly what happened. But all we do know is that Ben Ryan is your winner here tonight. Everett Larson comes home second, and Kaz Bedford comes home to round out our podium. What a wild night here in Martinsville.
Yes. I can't wait to talk to these guys about this race.
Yeah, man. This one is going to be a very interesting one. I'm very curious to get their thoughts here. I do not see Kaz Bedford here in the Discord at the moment. We'll give him a moment to see if he joins. I know he sometimes likes to join after the fact. So, but I mean, in the meantime, man, what 150 laps there. I feel like these guys surprise us every week with something crazy, and I think tonight was no exception.
Absolutely. I went ahead and pulled up the post-race info here. The most laps led were the 95 of Robert Warrens with 136 laps led. The Hard Charger award goes to Eric Copperthorne with a 10 position gain there. Sorry, man. Oof. Fastest lap went to the 3 of Tyler Barnes. Man.
I would like to ask one thing to these fans real quick. Ty, how many hot dogs have you gotten down?
Oh, man.
I was like, it had been a minute since we've gotten a hot dog count. We need that on the cards for sure.
We do. We absolutely do.
While we're waiting for that, I saw
laps. Wow.
Yeah, very, very fascinating stuff. I think just kind of looking down the final results, definitely have to throw out Eric Copperthorne ends up coming home finishing 5th. We have Brandon Torres recovering and finishing 8th. Brennan finishing on the lead lap, finishing 10th, getting himself a top 10 finish here in Martinsville. And Robert Barnes, unfortunately, finishing this one 14th after leading all of 145 of that 150 laps, it feels like.
Yeah, that was insane. Congrats on the top 10 finish, though, for the 21 of Brennan Klein. I believe that is his best finish here in the Super Late Model Series.
I believe so. But
Those claps all around him, that man. He's been practicing any chance he gets at these things, too.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's been putting in a lot of work. But, guys, I think it's time. Do we go ahead? Let's pull in our second place finisher. And I'm very fascinated to get some thoughts from these guys to this one. Let's go ahead and pull in our second place finisher here, Everett Larson. All right, joining us in the booth, we have the 01, Everett Larson. Everett, you got Dakota, you got Ryan, and you got Gary Miller in the booth. Do you copy?
Yep.
Man, oh man, what 150 laps of Martinsville. That was a very, let's go with interesting finish there. It seemed like you were added some decent pace, but maybe not necessarily enough to really truly push those guys out front. But when it's all said and done, you find yourself standing on the podium with a P2. Take us through that one and what you saw from in the car.
Well, mostly I just saw a bunch of wrecks and was just trying to dodge them to the best of my ability. But right there with around 20 laps to go, I'm like, okay, so the 51, I think it was 57 or 51. I don't remember exactly which one. But he started falling off back to me, and I'm like, oh boy, I got the 51. Okay, yeah, it was the 57. I remember because the 51 had the red number. But anyway, the 51 was on my bumper right there, got me loose like once or twice, and I'm like, okay, I need to hold him off so I can stay to the inside in fifth here. And then off the next to last restart right before everyone wrecked there, I'm like, I got done tire saving. I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it now and just see what happens. And then all of a sudden, I had to become Lightning McQueen for a second and just get through the wreck there. And somehow I wound up second. And then we took two to go right there. I'm like, they're probably gonna wreck, and I'm gonna lose everything because I have to start on the top. And then they wrecked right as we took the white flag. I'm like, oh, nice. We don't have to do another restart. And I'm like, oh hey, maybe I could get this, but I mean, I didn't really want it as bad as I have been, but I'm happy with second after the start and everything that happened there. Just glad to get it done.
Yeah, you looked really good out there. It definitely looks like you might have made a little bit of contact with the wall, a little bit here and there, but I mean, who doesn't? Um, you recovered well. You found yourself up in the front when you needed to. At what point did you really feel your tires kind of fall off?
Uh, Probably around lap 15. I felt it immediately because I mean, I know how to like tire save and still get up through the field just fine, but I felt it at like lap 15, maybe 25, and I'm like, we got no extra tires, and I probably should have seen that sooner. So I just started tire saving and still passing everyone. I got caught up right next to the 99. He's always a pretty rough guy to pass. It's like trying to pass Ryan Newman in the Gen 6 era. But I just got by him somehow and tried to tire save the rest of the way. Feel like I did an okay job and somehow managed to get second.
That's totally
Everett,
fair. Go
Everett,
ahead,
I
Gary.
have one question for you. When you hit that outside wall, did it bother your car any and slow you down at all?
No, but I did. What was bothering me with the wall was everyone else, at least on my screen, it might have been desync, but everyone else was like wall riding down the front stretch and back stretch, just sparks everywhere. Everyone was wall riding, but it didn't really upset my car at all. I know with the super late models, most of the time, if you hit the wall, it just drags the right front with it, but somehow everyone else was, at least on my screen, riding the wall and it wasn't really slowing them down other than for a half a second. So they would just stop, come back to me, and then go like accelerate super fast all of a sudden, which messed me up a couple times. But other than that, the wall just really didn't bother me.
That's
Totally
good to
fair.
hear. It looked like you had lost some pace after we noticed you hit the wall.
Hmm.
I think there was a lot of ebbing and flowing throughout that entire thing. I mean, you were kind of running in that secondary pack. I feel like you guys were continually just like sort of reeling in that front pack and then was sort of falling away. So you think that might have just been it, just different guys tire saving and pushing at different moments.
Yeah, I believe so. Because the 51, I didn't really see him other than off the restarts. All of a sudden, he was right there on my rear bumper, and I'm like, oh, he can tire save. I probably should have tire saved more aggressively, but I once he started trying to get by me, I'm like, no, I'm staying in fifth, and you're not getting my inside line. Uh, Speaking of the inside line, right up there, after the first caution, I think it was, I got up to third, and it still put me on the outside, which I'm confused about. But it literally it said I was in third, and it put me on the outside, so I guess I was really in fourth, and it gave Tyler the inside. But I guess it was just up to iRacing, so I'm not gonna really argue with that. And I mean, that's really all I have.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. But yeah, what a wild night. Congratulations once again on your second place finish here in Martinsville. This is your time. Anybody out there you want to throw a shout out to, feel free.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast, and I want to thank my good buddy Corey LaJoy, Food City, Quality Heat and Air, Kingsport Fitness, Han Doctor, Zamp Racing, and my grandma and grandpa Larson.
Absolutely. I feel like we're coming down to the end of the season. Hopefully we're speaking to you again here soon towards the end of the season.
Hopefully, we'll have to see.
Okay. Well, congratulations once again, Everett. We'll hopefully be speaking to you again soon.
All right, thank you.
Oh boy! All right, we actually we were able to track down our third place finisher tonight. Let's go ahead and pull him up here and get his thoughts. Mr. Kaz Bedford, you got Dakota, you got Ryan, and you got Gary Miller in the booth. Do you copy?
How you guys doing?
I know we are still a little gobsmacked at the way that one finished off. I mean, talking about your race here a little bit of a wild one. You were sort of involved in a little bit of everything. You know, an early penalty sort of puts you behind the 8 ball early, but you're able to claw your way back, and you actually are rewarded with a podium tonight. Take us through your 150 laps of Martinsville.
So, yeah, like you said, it was a rough start, but it's like I worked my way into a rhythm, and it's like, all right, guys are wrecking. I need to get up ahead of this, but I don't need to burn my tires off. And I feel like I did exceptionally well. I just didn't have the speed I needed because I was talking to Ben, and I saved like an extra 10% on my right front to him, so I still had tire. It's just I couldn't get the speed out of the car.
Yeah, we after our conversation last week, you were definitely a car that we all kept our eye on pretty closely, and you I mean, once again, you ended up back up where it really counted, and I just want to know, at what point did you feel your tires kind of start to leave the session there?
It was, I'm gonna guess somewhere between the 70 and 90 lap range. It just got really tight in the center of the corner, so I had to change my approach and play with my brake bias and do a bunch of different stuff, change my line, and it seemed like it got better for a little bit. The cautions really saved us. It seems like the tires cool down and the grip comes back. But I mean, on those long runs, it's hard to keep the car rolling around the corner how you need it to produce the speed.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I'm curious to get your thoughts here. This is the second, I believe, second week in a row that we've not put an extra set of tires over the wall. You think you're really starting to feel the impact of that, knowing that you're going to have to hold on to those set of tires for the entire way?
Oh yes, yes and no. From what I could tell, it seems like track position was key. So if you could hold that top spot and determine what line you were going to run, it seemed like in the long run that was the best because you'd always have guys too wide or fighting behind you. That way, it allows you to run the wider lines, save more time. I think it makes it more entertaining for everybody to watch because there's certain guys that are saving and there's certain guys that are driving it hard the whole race.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It definitely adds a different wrinkle in there. Gary, what do you got for him?
I'm the oddball here, so I'm going to ask you a non-related racing question. If you were a spectator here, how many hot dogs do you think you would be able to put down here?
Oh, that's a good question. I might hold on to that one and answer it after I take a trip to Martinsville because I feel like that would put on a great show. Like short track race and beating and banging, it would put on an awesome show.
I agree.
What a very diplomatic answer. I like that.
We will have to revisit that question at a later date then.
That's fair. Yeah, man. Take us through your perspective there with that late caution between the 3 and the 95. I think that's probably going to be a lot of people's moments of the race. I think you sort of almost might have had a prime viewing of that. Take us through what went through your mind in that moment.
Oh, I was worried because at the beginning of the race I'd already used my fast repair and it's like I'd settled into a rhythm and it's like, okay, I'll run. I think I was running fourth. So I was just gonna file in and run some to see if I could get by. And I look up and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's scary in VR to see a car turn sideways in front of you. It'll it'll definitely shock you.
I can believe that. I can believe that for sure. Ryan, Gary, you got anything else for Kaz here?
Personally, it's scary when a car turns sideways in front of me, not in VR. So I can only imagine what it's like in VR.
So I'm just gonna throw it out there. I actually started streaming to Twitch this week, so that will be on my Twitch.
Hell yeah.
Very, very fun. Always good to see other angles of stuff like this. So very much good luck with that. And anyone else out there you want to throw a shout out to, Kaz, before we let you get out of here?
Just my teammates at Deuces Wild and you guys here in the booth for all that y'all do. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to putting on a good show every week.
Absolutely. I can tell you, as the people in the booth, we appreciate you guys coming out here and putting on a show for us as well.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Congratulations once again. You have a good one. All right. Gary really in that moment made me think maybe I should be coming up with some more fun questions. Am I asking the same thing every time? I don't know. I'll have to ponder that one. But we're gonna have to do it after we talk to tonight's winner. Let's go ahead and pull him in here. The 67 of Ben Orion. You got Dakota and Orion in the booth. Do you copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, I don't even know if I have the words to describe how that one went down. You end up coming out on top, taking the win here tonight in Martinsville. Take us through that race from your perspective, and give us your thoughts.
Hard to pass. It was rough. I mean, the car was kind of unstable. The car was free if you had a bunch of brake in it. It was tight if you had the front brake in it. So I don't. It was kind of hard to balance it out and try to figure out really where you were at. Like, you could gain some on entry, but really the drive, it was so cold out there. Like, track temp wise, that the drive, like from center off, everyone was very equal. Like, if you overdrove entry, you could get back to the gas. You didn't really have to be scared to get after it. I think I set my fastest lap of the race on like lap 148 or something. So there was a lot of tire wear, but there was a lot of grip.
Yeah, it looked like I mean, you and Robert were both up front for, I mean, pretty much the entire race. You knew what you were fighting for and what you were trying to keep back behind you, and I mean, we know how you are, Benny Two Names over here. You're a force to be reckoned with, and no matter what you're behind the wheel of. So, at what point did you feel the tires really start to fall off?
I mean, I was behind Robert like a lot of laps there. Tyler got around me, I think around lap 100 or so, somewhere in there, I'm guessing. Um, and that's kind of where I felt like I killed the right front, because there was two restarts there that I kind of hung on the outside a bit and pushed really hard, and that just cheese grates the right front. So I think that's why I killed the right front so bad. Just not really looking after it, trying to clear, because I kind of knew if I could get to the bottom in front of Tyler, I could kind of control him. Once he got around me, it kind of moved back to Kaz. Like, I was just watching Kaz in my mirror, seeing if I was gaining on exit, trying to keep my drive on entry so he couldn't get to my outside. I was just kind of managing that the whole time, but it was probably around like lap 90 or so I felt the right front really kind of fall away, and I lost the turn that I needed to be able to get the drive. So yeah, so it was around there, and once I lost it, it just kind of like generally got worse and worse and worse and worse the whole run. I was just kind of managing it at the end there.
Yeah, it definitely looked like an interesting race from the perspective of it definitely felt like a track position type of race. It seemed like there was a couple of times with you and Tyler specifically where one of you kind of backed out. We made some assumptions that it might have been due to that tire wear. Do you think that that's what it was? Not really wanting to run side by side like we'd seen earlier this season, just to settle in and just live to fight another day.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there was some of that for sure, that like you don't want to run out there. You can use the outside by yourself and not be a detriment to the right front. Like, you can roll it in on the top. and then kind of turn down the hill, get a massive drive down the straight. Like, you can do that. Robert was running kind of the middle lane the whole time. He looked a little tight, so you could do it. It's just you had to be very careful how you did it. And the other problem is the side by side racing thing. Like, it was more so because you couldn't get drive. Like Tyler got around me on the restart. He was able to get the inside and kind of manage that and get around me on the bottom, but it was really hard to get drive off, but pinch the car enough to be able to drive under someone because they could kind of let it drift out to the wall, and you couldn't hang on their left rear. So getting to the bottom was almost impossible. Rolling to the top again, you're taking a big risk because if you get stuck out there and you can't really get to them, then you're gonna just cheese grate the right front.
It's totally fair. Gary, what do you got for our race winner?
Well, as being teammates with you, Ben, I do see you a lot and know what your tendencies are. Did you run as hard as you could the whole time, or did you pull it back some?
I mean, I had it pulled back for sure the first, I don't know, 50 to 60 laps. I was just kind of running whatever Robert was running, just trying to stay with him. At times I was too close to him, and I think it actually got my tires hot. So I'd back up a little bit, kind of cool them down, come back to him. But then, like, once we had a few restarts there, and everyone kind of bunched up there at the front, and everyone was kind of pushing. At that point, you kind of just got to push because, like, it didn't really feel like most of the fast guys, like, if you could get out front without moving them, you weren't going to get by them. So once that happened, I was just running as fast as the car would physically go for that last 50 laps. I got the tires cooled down on the restart, and I was able to hang on to it there. But I truthfully don't think I would have had anything for Tyler or Robert on the end run there if what happened didn't happen. But so I feel bad for Robert. You know, Tyler didn't mean to do it at all. He just like he just got in a little bit high and expected Robert to kind of turn down the hill, and he was going to try to get to his outside, I think was what his goal was there. Um, but I'll take it. I mean, it's not how I want to win it, but I'll definitely take it.
That was a good race by you for sure.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, anything else for our race winner this evening? The man was too stunned to speak. Ben, my last question for you here is: we're coming down to the end of season 1 here in the super late models. What are you looking forward to these last 2 races, and what are you hoping to accomplish as we're rounding out this first season?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting really busy at work, so I'm hoping I can make them. That's the first order of business. Second order of business, I guess, just to run hard and try to win some races. I don't think I'm in the points. I mean, I'm not in the points, but I'm not in the points, I guess you might say. Um, but I think the races coming up will be really good. I think Five Flags is gonna be great. IRP is gonna be different. That track's kind of its own little animal there. Doesn't really race like a conventional short track, so kind of up middle to high. Ton of speed on exit. Whoever can figure out how to roll as much speed as possible on entry center and then get drive on exit is probably going to be the one to beat. But they're 2 good racetracks, so I'm excited to go there if I make it out.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Well,
will add,
any
I was speaking earlier, but my microphone was unplugged. A professional broadcaster here.
professional. All right, we were wondering. We just figured you were so stunned with Ben's brilliant performance that you just really didn't have anything to say.
No, I was just speaking to myself, stating we know that you're always going to be a car to look out for out there on the track, no matter what you are, what you're racing, and I look forward to hopefully being able to talk to you again. Hopefully, you can make the rest of these races, and we can talk to you again.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely try to make them. That's for sure.
All right. Well, regardless, anyone out there you want to throw a shout out to before we let you get out there and celebrate this win?
No, just you guys for putting on the races, broadcasting them, RCing them, being the man that nobody sees but everybody hears. And then Outlier Speed Co. and Tyler for doing what he's doing here, because it's a lot of work, and sometimes you don't get things in return that you're looking for.
Absolutely. There's a lot that goes into it. But congratulations on your win here tonight, Mr. Ryan. Hopefully we'll be speaking to you again soon. Hopefully we'll see you out here next week if possible.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see you Tuesday, and hopefully see you again on Thursday.
Absolutely. You have a good one.
Yeah, talk to you later.
Whoa, man, I feel like we leave every week just flabbergasted at what we just saw, and I think that one was no different because was I never gonna expect a change up based on what we saw for 140 laps. I was never expected that finishing order that we did.
I can agree with that. With Landon missing that turn or whatever happened there, and Chaz getting third was a wild to see.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely wild. And then before we forget, if we do need to in fact correct ourselves, Brennan has finished higher than 10th before. He finished 9th at South Boston, but this was his first time finishing on the lead lap. So we'll get some claps up for that one.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations to him.
Oh man.
But Dakota, we go through this every week. I think that's where we have to end it.
All parting is always such sweet sorrow.
It is. But good for us and for Gary as well. We're gonna be back here again next Thursday.
Oh, you're already roping me in next Thursday?
I mean, if you want.
I guess I'll be here.
Around, might need it.
I mean, regardless, you're either going to be in here or you're going to be racing, so...
You know what? You're right.
Why not both?
Why not both? Oh,
we can
man.
do both.
That sounds like a terrible
I've always said, I think it would be fun to have a third who's in the car, and you can throw it to them as they're going, and you just get their thoughts live.
I want to start doing caution pace lap interviews. I think we should start implementing that.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, watch this space. I think we got some ideas. We got some ideas rattling around to spice things up a bit going into season 2, I think.
Absolutely. But without further ado, thank you for everyone watching. I appreciate you, Dakota, for being around when you are feeling sickly. Gary, thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Looking forward, it really has. Looking forward, Sunday, the wave around, normal time, we will be speaking on the first gauntlet race and the happenings of Chicago Street, and tonight here at Martinsville. Looking forward to next week as well. Hope everyone has a great, safe, fun weekend, and we will catch you guys right back here once again for the wave around.
Okay, here we go. Focus. Speed. I am speed. 1 winner. 42 losers. I eat losers for breakfast. Breakfast? Maybe I should have had breakfast. A little brekkie could be good for me. No, stay focused. Speed. I'm faster than fast, quicker than quick. I am lightning.
Hey, Langdon, you ready?
Oh, yeah. Lightning's ready.